Well, hi YouTubers, hi, I'm back with a 6 mile 60 books, and I'm apologising now if there's an echo, okay? I'm talking really, really softly, so you can probably hear that, so you could be able to pick it up, but I'm in Warsaw, I'm in a hotel room, and I'm packed, I'm actually checking out in about half an hour, so I still want to take these books back with me, so hence the reviews. Okay, so, Counting on the Countess by Leigh. Okay, it's Mills and Boon, and I'm going to read the blurb, okay? For a shameless libertarian and a wily smuggler, marriage is more than a convenience, it's strategy. Christopher Kit Ellingsworth, a war veteran and newly minted Earl of Blackmere, buries his demons in vice. His scandalous ways have emptied his coffers until a wealthy mentor leaves him a sizable fortune. The only stipulation, he must be married to inherit the money, and bold, mysterious Miss Tamsin Pierce seems the perfect bride. But when the will grants Tamsin control of the fortune, the seductive games between them begin. Okay, so basically Skin is an earl, but he's poor, and he needs a wife to inherit a lovely sum of money. And he meets Tamsin, who basically is in London on a season looking for basically someone dumb to marry because she's a smuggler in her seaside village, and yeah, right. This is how they made. Basically, they're at like this like assembly, where it's like a bride finding event, if you will. Like people there just kind of like meeting and trying to find a perfect one. Here we go. This is from Kit's point of view. Making his way out of the ballroom, he considered all he knew of Miss Pierce. First, item the first. She was poor with few prospects, so she wouldn't mind a short courtship. Item the second. She didn't appear to be a fortune hunter. Item the third. He could easily envision them spending pleasurable hours in bed together. Conclusion, she was perfect. Oh, and Tamsin is red-headed. She's like a siren, red hair tumbling down her back. So yeah, good picture. So very, very short courtship, like a couple of days. They meet, they get married, and then the games begin, because the thing is, stipulation of Kit's friend's will, Kit gets nothing, it's all Tamsin. Tamsin has to give Kit an allowance. And Kit has it in his head to create this pleasure room, okay, where veterans go, and it's like a pleasure palace, okay, whereas Tamsin is way more sensible, and she wants to invest in the village where she's from, and also to buy her childhood home. And yes, it's that kind of book. So, but the thing is, one thing actually, no, for a Mills and Boon book, I generally like this, okay, is it's way more interesting than a lot of them. A lot of them were kind of Regency fictions, are so Pride and Prejudice, or courtships and earls and balls, that kind of stuff. This kind of brings it quite down to the nitty gritty. And this bit here, this is how, after the marriage, okay, Kit gets her in the mood. And I give this for originality in a Mills and Boon novel. There you go. Kit brings her to a house of, like, posh ill repute. There you go. The door was opened by a masked woman. She had glossy black hair and tawny skin, and her dark eyes were sharp as she assessed Tamsin and Kit. I've come full of plums, Kit said. We haven't any, the woman answered. Peter's will suffice. The woman smiled and opened the door wilder. Welcome, friends. Smugglers often use strangers such as the ones Kit and all had employed to show that they were allies. It made sense that a secret club would make use of a similar code. Okay, so they're at this masked house, if you will. Here we go. And this bit here. For a moment, Tamsin forgot the mechanics of breathing. Most people were tangled in groups of 2 or 3 on low couches, scattered throughout the chamber. Glimpses of naked flesh gleamed in the low candlelight. 2 women reclined on pillows heaped on the floor. They kissed deeply, and one fondled one another. Seeing them, Tamsin thought of Samantha Markham and Lucy Temple. The 2 women lived in Newcombe and had done so since before Tamsin was born. I never questioned why the woman hadn't married, and now Tamsin knew why. So this leads to her sexual awakenings. You know how in it's kind of like fiction, a character gets a sexual awakening and desires her husband. It's the first time I've ever read a Mills and Boon novel by Leigh, where brings her to that kind of place and he gets her happy. Okay, yeah, and after that she has sex, and then they go back to Newcomb. Okay, which is essentially Tamsin grew up in Cinderella circumstances where her parents died, her uncle moved in, they basically stripped the family fortune, they made it basically like a drudge, if you will, didn't buy any gowns for 2 years, didn't give her a season, okay, you know, that's like laws of the manor. But the thing is, the use of swearing in this novel is quite out there. I mean, for Mills and Boon novel, normally it's quite courtly and genteel and Jane Austen. No, this is an example. Kit slammed the door behind him. He looked around the chamber, his eyes burning. Anything here you don't value? The vase. Tamsin answered bitterly after a moment. It's Gwen's. Without a word, Kit strode to the painted china vase and threw it against the wall. Shattered loudly, filling the room with noise and pieces of ceramic. That should be his fucking head, Kit growled. Oh, that jewelry, her cousin. Okay. So, overall, I generally enjoyed this book because even though it's a Mills and Boon, it's a shameless Mills and Boon, I liked, in some fact, the originality of it. Okay, the ending is tied up way too quickly. Within like 10 pages, it's all sorted. Okay, but I like the fact that, unlike most Mills and Boon settings, this actually does a few things differently. Now, when you think of the Regency period, okay, you think balls and that kind of, you think Pride and Prejudice. This actually, and that actually was at the time, a seedy kind of undercurrent running through London society. That's actually true. So I like the fact, even though it's hard to imagine this woman actually doing this, Tamsin actually doing this, I like the fact it's actually represented in the book. Yeah, so as Mills and Boon books go, it's one of the better ones, and I'm silly saying that. And I'm signing off here. Take everyone. This is my 60 books and sign off. Bye now.